Views are good. We all want whatever we're making to get noticed and seen by people, and when a site has a way to show you how many views something has gotten, it's incredibly helpful. Until it isn't. I've been on Deviantart for about 14 years, and over those 14 years I've seen the site go through a lot of changes. The most recent one being a strange boost in views while getting no boost in comments, favorites, or new watchers. The change started around January of 2021, where my images that usually got about 300 or so views were topping out at several thousand. At first I thought I had done something that people had overwhelmingly liked, but the amount of comments was minimal and favorites were also pretty in line with the rest of my gallery. I did have a couple of theories about where all these views were coming from. Was Deviantart multiplying the amount of views that images were actually getting? Were they using bots to make the website worth more? Was it a bug or was it intentional? I sent in a help request to Deviantart and asked what the deal was with the new views, and I did actually get an answer back. The staff member who responded told me that they've basically decided to redefine what counts as a view to include some instances where an image is displayed on a page that isn't the actual image's page. They gave me two examples, one being views coming from their post feed, and another that was a lot more vague, something about the image being displayed at full size somewhere but not on the image's page. I'm not really sure where that would be, and they didn't actually say either, so take that as you will. This wasn't really enough for me to go off of to figure out where all the views were coming from, so I asked them if they had a list anywhere that defined what they counted as a view. And the answer to that question was no, and to just refer back to what they sent me in their previous message. I have some opinions on this. This isn't great for us artists because what Deviantart is calling views and what most people define as a view isn't the same. Most people interpret a view as someone clicking on their image's page and viewing it. But Deviantart is counting views as an image being loaded up on some amount of pages, even if the person who technically viewed it had no intention of actually clicking on it. Do search results count as views? Does checking my watch list count as views? Do the little suggested images count as views? There's no way to know because Deviantart isn't telling us. And just to put in perspective how bad this has gotten, here are my own stats on Deviantart. My views are pretty consistent, about 10,000 every month, until January and February where they start to go up, peaking at almost 80,000 in March. By comparison, none of my other stats have changed this drastically. And although a boost in views can make you feel good about your art in the short term, in the long term there's no way to use these views constructively. If I do two art pieces and they both get 3,000 views because of how Deviantart defines views, there's no way for me to know which image was more impactful. And yes, we can use faves and comments as a way to measure how popular an image is or how well it's done, but not everybody favorites images and very few people actually comment on them. Some people don't even have accounts on Deviantart, so the only way for them to interact is to actually view your image. Views are by far the most important stat to take into consideration when you're learning about how well your images are doing, and without that, you kind of lose a lot of really important information. A boost in views, while no boost in comments or favorites, can also discourage someone from doing more art. If 1,000 people saw my image but nobody commented on it, is my art bad? Probably not, but the numbers can make it seem that way. The whole thing just feels strange to me. I scrolled through update announcements on DA's official account, and I couldn't find any updates about how views are calculated or kept track of. I can't say if this was done on purpose, or they just felt like it wasn't a big enough update to make an announcement about, or if maybe I just missed the announcement they did make. But I do feel like they should have made this update a little more clear so that more users were aware of it. I'm not really sure what else to say about this, but I really hope that people become more aware of this thing going on with Deviantart, and I kind of would hope that Deviantart would either let us know what counts as a view, or go back to how views used to be calculated. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.